Hey guys, I'm Joe, and this is the Rebels Advocate coming to you on a lazy Sunday afternoon. And it's about to become a little less lazy because I just picked up some gas for the lawnmower. I gotta go home and mow the old yard. Woohoo! Of course, then after that, I'm gonna crack open a few beers, fire up the grill, maybe grill some burgers. Also gonna be videoing that for a new YouTube channel I'm coming out with, a little cooking show, but that won't be out for several weeks, so more on that later. But anyway, I thought while I was out, I'd take the long way around back home and do a short little video. Now, I've been thinking a little bit about abortion. Joe, how are you going to do a short video on abortion? Well, we're not going to talk about abortion, as you know. I'm not going to discuss the rights or wrong of it, but I want to talk about why I think Christians should support abortion, why preachers should be advocating for it. And I don't plan these videos out. Usually I don't write them out or anything like that, but sometimes I do play them out in my head beforehand. And every time I started playing this one out in my head, I would get to this part where I'm like, I'm not going to talk about abortion because I think it's a complicated issue, even though a lot of people say it ain't complicated. They think it's just cut and dry on both sides. And then like 10 minutes later, I'd realize I'm still talking about why it's a complicated issue. And I am pro-choice, and even though that's not really relevant to this video, and I think maybe the reasons why I'm pro-choice might not even be the same reasons that most people that are pro-choice are pro-choice. But maybe we'll talk about that later. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear me talk about it, or if you're like, who cares, Joe, you're a dude. And I agree wholeheartedly. I think this is a woman's issue, and it's something women should talk about more. I do believe men can have an opinion on it, and of course we're going to talk about it. But it is a woman's issue, and I do think if men were the ones being pregnant and carrying babies, I think abortion would have been legal from the beginning, probably. Anyhow, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's talk about why Christians should advocate for it. Now, I was thinking about how to start this off and talk about it, and then I thought, what if I just transformed? Because I was once a Christian, and as a child, I had aspirations of becoming a preacher. So I wonder, what would that look like if Joe was a preacher? You know, would I preach for abortion? Be pro-choice? Not just pro-choice either. I'm talking pro-abortion. Like, not pro-women should have the right to choose, but pro-women should choose abortion. Let's see what that would be like. Let's pretend I'm a preacher. Boy, this sun is really playing havoc on the video, isn't it? That's weird. Okay, so I got to go into preacher mode. The first thing I got to do is I got to get hip, because I want to appeal to the younger generation. So what we do, we turn the hat around backwards. Oh yeah. Okay, now, I'm just like one of the kids, they can relate to me. Look at me, I'm not your ordinary preacher in a suit and tie. I'm the cool hip preacher laid back in the car driving, taking a video, with my sleeveless shirt and tattoos and my hat turned backwards. Yeah, this is today's preachers. So anyway, here we go. Preacher mode, preacher mode, preacher mode. I'm drawing on my Pentecostal roots too to do this one. Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm coming to you live today from the Nissan Rogue, and I woke up this morning and I just felt like God was laying a message on my heart to bring to you guys today, and I want to talk a little bit about abortion. I see a lot of churches out there, and they're preaching this liberal message of women should not be going out there and having abortions like it's sin, like it's a murder, or what have you. And I'd just like to tell you today that God has laid on my heart, and I want to explain to you exactly what abortion does and what it is. You see, when you have an abortion, what you do is you take that unborn child that is still in the womb, that is still innocent, and you go in there and you take that life. And do you want to know what happens when you take that life from that young unborn child? it goes straight to heaven. You see, today, all these babies being born by the millions, those babies grow up and 3/4 of them, if not more, will sin against God, and they will end up in hellfire and brimstone. But I'm here to tell you today that if you have an abortion, that child will never have a chance to sin against God, to go out there and break God's holy law, and that child will end up in heaven, in Jesus' bosom. You say today, Joe, but this murder, and I say to you, it's saving a life. You're saving a child from going to hell. That's what you're doing. Now, understand, a lot of you're going to church, you think you're doing what's right, but you have those bad thoughts from time to time in your head, and guess what? When you die, if you don't get right, but right before you die, you're going to hell too. But let me tell you something today. If your mother, if she had just had an abortion, if she had aborted you while you were still in the womb, while you were still hooked to that umbilical cord, you would be in heaven today rejoicing with Jesus. You would be in God's bosom. You would be with your family and your friends, at least the ones that did right and ended up in heaven, which would probably be a very few of them, but you would be there. And I'm here to tell you today, ladies, if you're pregnant, I'm not saying you have a choice. I'm saying your choice should be to murder that baby. That's what we should do right now. Let me tell you, abortion, it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Have an abortion today and save a child. Send that child to heaven. It's the right thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that was intense. I don't think I like Preacher Joe. I think Preacher Joe should be a little calmer. I got a little excited. It takes a while to deprogram, get back to Atheist Joe here. Ladies, don't think you have to go, have an abortion. It should be your choice. Do what you choose. I'm sorry about Preacher Joe. Like, he's zealous, his heart's in the right place. And wouldn't that be the case, though, if you're a Christian? Like, here's the thing. I can understand. I know this may go against a lot of pro-choicers, but I can understand why Christians fight against abortion. I can understand why they feel it's murder. However, I believe if I was a Christian, I would have that, exactly what I just preached, I'd have that in the back of my head. And even though I might say, yeah, I believe abortion's a sin, I probably wouldn't want to fight against it that hard. Because I think, well, it's already legal, nothing I can do. But in the back of my head, I would be thinking, you know what, that's a lot of babies that would have ended up in hell. But they're in heaven right now by the millions and millions of babies in heaven that would have grew up and went to hell. If I was a Christian, that's what I believe. So just some food for thought on this lazy Sunday afternoon. Now I'm going to go home and mow the yard and grill some burgers, have a couple beers, and enjoy the day. And it's almost 5 o'clock. I got to hurry. So, and I'm not going to have to worry about going to church because I'm an atheist, and that's great. Church sucks. Have a good day, you guys. Oh, almost forgot. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you.